Hello everybody, welcome back to Disney Mirrorverse. Today we're going to be trying out Alice. I kind of talked about what I thought of her design in the Moana video, but it honestly looks like fan art to me if I'm being completely honest, but I do like what they're going for with like the hat and like the almost bunny looking like ears at the top with the bow. It looks like Alice. The color scheme and dress can remind me of Alice, but in a very unique form at the same time. And then like the staff, I don't even know what to think of that. I don't really like that, if I'm being completely honest with you. It really does feel like fan art to me, but maybe that's not such a bad thing. She was considered the Dream Weaver, which is interesting. Merry Unbirthday is her core ability, which means when Alice hits an enemy with a heavy attack, the enemy is inflicted with minus 25% Dizzy debuff for 3 seconds. What is Dizzy debuff? Affects the target accuracy up to a maximum of negative 80%, decreasing the chances of them successfully landing a basic or heavy attack against their opponent. I don't even know what that would look like. Like, does it still play the animation? I don't know. Alice resists 20% damage from enemies that are inflicted with a Dizzy debuff. Tea Time is her special ability. Alice begins Tea Time, a state unique to Alice that grants allies a series of buffs and enemies a series of debuffs. While Tea Time is active, the following effects take place until Tea Time is over. All allies heal 2% HP per second. Enemies are rooted. Wow. And all allies gain a 20% attack buff. So enemies are rooted. Does that mean all enemies are rooted for 15 seconds? Because that would be crazy. All allies gain a 20% attack oh, wow. She sounds like an amazing support character, for real. Alice activates Tea Time at the beginning of the encounter. Wow. So you literally just start with Tea Time. Alice activates Tea Time at the beginning of a combat featuring a boss. Attack buff and defense buff granted Tea Time are increased by additional 25%. And here's that too. Alright, going to the talents. What are we gonna equip on me? Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have defense at the beginning if we're getting Tea Time anyways. So I don't know how many tanks they'll have. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of this one. I'll try to remember to bring in a melee character, and then we'll just do the big one here. So it's basically helping each different faction. You can see this one, the last one is support, this one is range, this one's melee, and this one is tank. So it's interesting. You can kind of customize it depending on the team that you're going to be bringing in. Here's her bio as well. Interesting. So we're going to go into, I kind of mentioned I might do this on the last one. We're going to go into this one and look for any ranged encounters, or sorry, not ranged, support encounters we need to do here. Okay, so this one is perfect. Where is she at? Oh, there she is. Alright. What I'm always most excited for is the animations, so I'm sure she'll be like somewhat elegant. She literally did a flip. It's crazy. Okay, I don't know if I like that. She has like childlike movements. This is strange. But she's also battle ready. So we've got Tea Time activated. She's literally rooted. I don't know why I got so close to her. I don't even need to get near her. But that was certainly not 15 seconds. Oh, cooldown is 15 seconds. So Tea Time is actually pretty short then. Honestly, one of the best animations I've seen in the entire game. That was pretty awesome. I'm sure it will look pretty weak in comparison when we just straight up do the when we do it without that zoom in. Much more impressed with her animations, I would say. I'm liking her a lot more just based off of that. I didn't like the initial entrance animation, if I'm being completely honest. I guess that fits her personality. I just don't like that personality, that's all. Was this? Nope. Support? Nope. Support? Nope. Guess I had supports for all these. There we go. And let's watch it again. Yeah, she does her little flip there. I don't know why she's floating like that. Big old Maui coming out. You don't stand a chance. Did you notice how I literally ended the last fight with full health? And how with Moana, you know, on her own, it's just like she was at the end of her ropes. She couldn't do anything. So Moana definitely needs to be paired up with people. But like honestly, like I know Alice isn't doing a ton of damage, but she ain't dying anytime soon. Yeah, so not as impressive, I'd say, the tea time animation when you're not in the zoomed in mode. But I like the cutscene of it, I guess. But that was pretty cool. I wanna rewatch that on my recording when I'm done with this. I liked it a lot. So tea time is pretty OP. I'm excited to see it root like a ton of people. I know we're only doing the 1v1s right now. Yeah, Maui literally stands no chance. I know this is taking forever, but he stands no chance. Oh yeah, I haven't done a single heavy attack. Oh, she shoots like a little pastry at him. Bam. That's like a golf swing almost. All right. I think I definitely prefer over Moana. Although Moana definitely has her I don't know what I'm even trying to say there. Is she a leader? I feel like she's got to be, right? She's not. What is she? I don't even know. I didn't look. But that's fine. We're probably gonna, well, I don't know if I want to bring in Mickey. Who else is a leader that would be good to bring in? All the leaders are healers. What the heck? I don't want to bring any of those people. Fine. I don't have anything to support range characters, but we did have one for melee, so we'll bring in Hercules. You guys will get to see everybody get rooted, but I'm gonna be reading the design notes, which I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. But I'm gonna read through the design notes for Alice that's supplied by the Kabam, the creators of the game. Tell us about this Guardian's transformation. Alice is in control of her dreams more now than ever before, capable of actually shaping dreams into anything her allies need, making their dreams come true. Able to understand the dreams of others, she can summon aspects of Wonderland to supplement their needs. With a thought, Alice can summon mighty weapons, a soothing cup of tea, or anything in between. Wow, she can literally do anything, and she decides to summon some tea and some mighty weapons, huh? Just summon like a gun. Like, come on. Okay, just gonna get the next one ready for you. What were your design goals? With Alice, I wanted to focus on a support character who is capable of out-of-role abilities. Depending on what her party makeup looks like, she is able to summon whatever she can from Wonderland as long as it's necessary. This means that she's able to do out-of-role stuff as long as the occasion calls for it. That's interesting. Okay. What abilities does Guardian have? Alice's base kit gives her the ability to inflict enemies with a short-term dizzy debuff, and also has damage resistance to enemies who are inflicted with dizzy. Her special tea time grants an ability, grants a substantial attack and debuff, it's abbreviated for me, attack and defense buff to the party, while also healing them and inflicting the enemy with root. Her sig makes the SP boss much bigger and also casts her SP for free at the beginning of an encounter and a combat chunk involving a boss. Her talents extend the length of tea time and give her access to role-based abilities depending on who is in the party. Tanks let her give armor to the party, melee let her inflict wounds on the enemy party, range gives a substantial focus buff to all allies, and support adds to the healing of the SP. We basically knew all of that because we talked about it at the beginning. Describe the Guardian's playstyle. Alice is designed to be a more up-close support character, with her SP granting such substantial buffs and her talents giving out abilities like armor, focus, and wound. She's able to spend time in combat with her allies or hang back and avoid combat, throwing heavy attacks to dizzy her foes. What allies pair best with this Guardian? Alice is unique in that she pairs well with whoever needs her. She would pair great with Scar, who loves having wounds on all enemies, and Kuzco, who not only augments her healing but would benefit from those big buffs, as he's supposed to be a closer combat support himself. She could also do really well with any tank that grants defense buffs, as the armor would just keep climbing as long as she's around. So we kind of noticed that too with their talents. You can kind of equip whatever you need for the battle up ahead. Like right now I should have the ranged one on, which, you know what, I might as well just do that, right? This is crazy. I would never do something like this. Actually changing my talents up, unheard of. So the ones I have right now, I don't have any support characters, so I'm gonna get rid of this one and equip that one. Alright, back to the leader tower. And I will finish out the notes probably on this one. What enemies does this guardian counter? Alice is great against high mobility enemies who rely on stick and move or avoid tactics. Sorry, let me say that again. Alice is great against high mobility enemies who rely on stick and move or avoid tactics, as her SP throws out a root and then buffs her party enough to go deal the damage needed. Part of this allows her a nice in-roll hunt against support enemies, as they can't evade Alice's party, and depending on what the party makeup is, they would then be pretty susceptible to either the wounds granted by a melee ally or the large-scale focus granted by a ranged ally. That was a little hard to read, honestly. I hope any of you that are interested pick that up. They don't list any specific guardians. They're just high mobility enemies. Whatever. Who is best to defeat this fractured guardian? Anyone able to to avoid Alice's root or just have flat immunity will mean that during her SPS as a support, she will be a primary target to get rushed down. Also, while damage resistance covers off hits, it does not cover DOTs, so if someone is capable of hitting Alice with wound, burn, etc., this could be potentially devastating, as she has no ability to cleanse. So yeah, cleansing is a big thing. Maybe trying to bring in someone who has cleanse would be good. I think I'm going to have a really hard time fighting against Alice's, just based on what I read there. Because I'm not very smart. And in the moment, I'm not going to know what to do or like who to bring in. In terms of Alice as a character, she's the only one from her series so far, right? I'm pretty sure. I can't think of any. I think Cheshire Cat would be a fun one to get. Even Mad Hatter, they could probably do something interesting with. Other than that, I don't really care about any of the other characters getting a spot here. But I really doubt she'd be the only one. It continues to, follow the trend of adding in like every princess in the game as a fighter, which I always think is really cool. It's awesome that we just got 2 new princesses with Moana and Alice. Just thinking of what other princesses are left, genuinely just like Cinderella, which I'm pretty sure I said in the past and I just forgot about Moana and Alice, but yeah, definitely Cinderella is a big one that we were yet to see, and I have no doubts that we will one day see Cinderella, just because literally every other princess is here. I think it makes for a really fun idea to just have a princess who is much more battle ready than she ever has been before. We want to give about an equal showcase to her here, so we're going to do one more. We need to bring in Mickey, I guess, which means this might take a while. Yeah, now I don't have the healing one because I got rid of it for Maleficent. I am very interested. I think she's a really good support by the sounds of it. It's going to be tough because I doubt that I can get her at a very high level when I do get her, which sucks because I would really like to see her in some of my other battles. But I don't know. Like, Mickey's been my main support for a long time now, so it'd be weird for me to try to replace him. And I really don't like the idea of using 2 supports. Like, this right now is making me mad. That did not take very long at all. I don't know. I really don't like her design all that much, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's too kawaii for me. That was a joke. But I don't, like I said, it feels like a fan fiction thing to me, which I don't know how you would even avoid something like that. It feels weird to me, that's all. I don't have any specific reasons as to why, it just feels weird. I think our moveset has a lot more potential though. And I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about all this stuff. I hope I did a good job breaking it down. I tried my best to understand what I was reading and give you guys a good summary of what you need to know about this stuff. Because even if I don't necessarily do the right things, I hope at least the knowledge that I spread can help you figure these things out for yourself. I'm sure there'll be more in-depth stuff when these characters actually come out about what they're good about with and everything. And I think even Kabam makes their own YouTube videos showcasing the new characters that come out, or at least they did in the past. So maybe you could watch those and see if you need more information on either of these characters. But I hope you enjoyed the showcase. I think this was a really fun update with two of these princess characters, and they're both very different in playstyle as well, and very different from all the other characters in the game as well. Alice has a lot of potential for any team you have, so I think that's really interesting. That's about all I gotta say. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.